everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you, and this is it. This is a final game, or this is a final battle report in more ways than one. It is my final 2200 point battle. It is my final game of the Rock Wars GT 2014, and it is the final game I will ever play with this army. Last one. I'm not saying I'm never going to play Wars Cast again, but I am selling a majority of this army. So you will never see this particular army played by this particular guy ever particularly again. So yeah, I wanted to say the word again. But yeah, so sit back, pop open a bottle of wine, get some tissues, because we're going to have a chick flick. 2200 point battle, Lord Tremendous for the last time as the Warriors of Chaos versus Filthbag of the Demons of Chaos. And no, that he plays Nurgle. His name is Jeff Lamb. Real fun guy. We had some fun. This was a really good game and an excellent way to finish off the legacy that is the Warriors of Chaos. And so I'm going to state it right here and now. This is the legacy. What happens in this game is how the story ends for my Warriors of Chaos. So really pay attention because this is a good one. The scenario for this one was praying to the Ural. The deployment was battle line, so just straight up 12 inches in. But the scenario objective is there was an outhouse in the center of the table. Only the general can enter the outhouse. Once he's inside it, he's basically removed from the game completely with the exception of his inspiring presence. If he's riding a monster, the monster goes with him. Don't ask. Generals are kinky like that. If he's riding anything, it goes in there with him, and it's completely removed from the game. If he's part of the unit's still there. They stop an inch away from the thing, but other than that, the outhouse, he's in there. He can't generate the spell dice. He can't cast spells or try to dispel them. He can't use any of his items. He is simply, you can't be a general with your pants around your ankles, But for every full turn he's inside the outhouse, you gain one battle point, up to 3. And both generals can be in the outhouse at the same time. The victory conditions are if you win by 0 to 100, it's a draw. If you win by 101 to 400, it's a minor win. If you win by over 400, it's a major win. Bonus victory points are you get plus 75 victory points for every controlled table corner and plus 500 victory points if the opponent's general never enters the outhouse. The bonus battle points are you get plus 1 battle point for every turn your general is in the outhouse to a maximum of 3.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list for the last time. I've got my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous, with the Mark Zinch, level 4 Wizard, Chaos Armor, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Flame Breast, Scaled Skin, and the Laura Medal. My hero choices are my Exalted Hero, Lady Elizabeth, with the Mark Zinch, Halberd, Chaos Steed, BSB, Helm of Many Eyes, Dawnstone, and Poisonous Slime. Last but kinda least is my Exalted Hero, Catastrophe, with the Mark Zinch, Demonic Mount, Halberd, Shield, Talisman of Preservation, and Third Eye Zinch. My core choices are my 5 Chaos Warhounds, the Corn Dogs, 18 Chaos Warriors, the Reavers of Ulthuan, with Mark Corn Halberd's Full Command and Banner Rage, and 15 Forsaken, Corn's Forgotten, with the Mark of Corn. My special choice consists of 5 Chaos Knights, Elizabeth's Honor Guard, with Mark Zinch and Source of Weapons, Banner Musician, and Standard and Discipline, and my rare choice, the one model I will miss more than anything, Snuffleupagus, my Mutalith Vortex. I'm gonna miss the beast, yeah. My opponent's list is as follows. He has a Demon Prince of Nurgle, who is a level 4 wizard with a lesser gift that I don't remember what he rolled, and the Laura Nurgle. His hero choices are a Herald of Nurgle, who was his BSB, and that was it. He had some core choices, of course. 30 Plague Bearers of Nurgle with full command, and a unit of 20 Plague Bearers of Nurgle with full command. His special choices were 4 Beasts of Nurgle, and 2 units of single Beasts of Nurgle, and a unit of 2 Nurglings, as well as 3 Flamers of Zinch. His rare choices consisted of a skull cannon and 3 plague drones of Nurgle with banner musician. Here are my spells, which are 4 from metal. And here are my opponent's spells, which are 4 from Nurgle. Here's deployment, and the coolest thing about this particular deployment is if you see the big dwarf thing in the middle, number one, this is the table that I was at when I played Demonic Orchid in pregame 1 of the Rock Wars 2014 GT. And I mean, talk about coincidence or irony or, you know, just poetic justice maybe, that where it all began for the Rock Wars is where it all ends for me, which is kind of cool, actually. But yeah, I ended up on this badass table. If you take a look at it, it's just amazing. But that the dwarf square and the pillars and everything like that, that's a dwarven brewery. Anything within 6 inches of that or on that counts as stubborn and immune to psychology. So how awesome is that? My one biggest weakness in this army is break checks, and that damn thing is stopping me from having to take break checks. I love it. So, well, not stopping me, but making it so that combat res doesn't matter. But with that in mind, that was my plan. My Forsaken were going to go after the little Nurgling things because I wanted them dead early and quick. And the hope was hit them and overrun far enough that the damn beasts on Nurgle couldn't countercharge me in the flank, and then make my way back around and, you know, hit a flank, maybe get the cannon or something like that. But whatever. The beast, the dogs, the corn warriors, and the knights, we're going to shoot straight up the middle. Every single one of those units were going to stay as close to the middle as they can so that they were both stubborn and immune to psychology. Damn your fear checks, damn your terror checks, damn your, you know, combat res by a million. I just need to stick it out. That's all that matters. My Demon Prince and Catastrophe, we're going to shoot up the right flank and try to take care of everything on the right flank, whether that be the rotten flies, the beasts, the flamers, the other unit. I didn't care. That was my plan. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of his Nurglings, which vanguarded up or scouted or something like that, and his big unit of Beasts and Nurgle. Here's his center, which consists of his Skull Cannon, his Beasts and Nurgles, one of the single units, a smaller unit of Plague Bearers. Behind them is a unit, or is his Demon Prince Nurgle guy, and next to them is his big unit of Plague Bearers with his BSB attached. And here's his left flank, which consists of his Flies, his second single Nurgle Beast guy, and his Flamers. Here's my right flank, which consists of Exalted Hero Catastrophe and my Demon Prince. And here's my center, which consists of my Knights with Lady Elizabeth, my Corn Warriors, my Dogs, and my Beast. And my left flank, which consists of my Forsaken. So, here's top of 1 after movement, and wouldn't you know it, I got to go first. My last game with the Warriors of Chaos, and I got to go first. It was beautiful! And I go forward as fast as I possibly can. The Exalted Hero, Demon Prince, Knights, Corn Warriors, Dogs, Beast, everybody fires forward because the hell with subtlety. I want to be stubborn. My Forsaken fail their frenzy check and have to charge the Nurglings, and they do, and they actually make it. So that's something. There's a better picture of my frenzied Forsaken losing themselves in the ecstasy that is Corn and charging the Nurglings and making it, which is, you know, fitting. I could see that as their legacy. They're like, yeah, we're just going to rip apart all the mucus stuff. During the magic phase, I get final transmutation off on his Plague Bearers, the big unit with his BSB. I snipe his BSB. I roll a 6 and his BSB is dead. And then I kill, like, I think it was 6 of the beasts, or the Plague Bearers or whatever, which was just incredible. I killed a ton of these things, and his BSB, so that was huge. And then of course there's the Bubble Stupidity. Over here in combat, I get Killing Blow. Yay! That's useless because Killing Blow only works on Cav, War Beasts, and Infantry. Had to look it up. Really disappointed. So yeah, they get Killing Blow, not useful at all. Ended up putting 3 wounds that actually stuck on the Nurglings. I took none for my trouble. With charge, rank, and 3 wounds to nothing, they lose by 5, they explode, and the Forsaken overrun. Not very far though. They needed to touch that 24, and they missed it by a solid 3 inches, so I was a little nervous. as we go into tier 2, bottom of 1, and as you can see, my fears were justified because his big unit of Beast and Nurgle slam into the flank of my Forsaken, and they are not within 6 inches of those pillars, so they aren't stubborn. So my only hope is that he only kills like 3 of my Forsaken. Other than that, the rest of his stuff does pretty much what I did. He comes up, but not nearly as fast. His cannon is stupid, which is awesome. His flamers were stupid as well, and his flies run over to the side. I honestly don't know what he was planning on doing there. There's a better picture of his Beast and Nurgle slamming into the flank of my Forsaken, and that's unfortunate, but it was a gamble. And then during his magic phase, he gets Curse of the Leper off on my knights, lowering their toughness by 1. Didn't care too much about that, but he irresistible forced it through, so there was nothing I could do. He ends up miscasting 4, and yeah, I was really like, oh my god, is it going to be that easy? No, it's not. Plague Bearer dies in each unit. He loses the rest of his magic phase, but he is able to ward save the wound that is done to his Demon Prince, and he stays. So that could have went a lot better, but I'm not complaining. Over here in combat, all things considered, the Forsaken don't do terrible. They do lose 5, but they're able to put 3 wounds through for their trouble, which isn't bad considering these things like to make their friggin' regen saves like they're a 1-up. But with charge, 5 wounds, and a flank to 3 wounds, I lose by a lot. But I actually make my break check. I roll like a 2 or a 3. Not insane courage, I'm sorry, but like a 3 or a 4. Which was, I think, exactly what I needed. Couldn't believe it. But when I try to reform them, I fail that leadership check, so I have to stay with them in the flank, which sucks. But it is what it is. And with that being said, we go over here to top of 2 after movement. And my Knights charge Plague Bearers. My Demon Prince charges his Beast and Nurgle because I have to. My Demon Prince My Demon Prince charges the Beast and Nurgle on the right there because he has to. The Beast charges the one that's right. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but he's in the middle there. And my dogs just kind of hang out and get in the way over by the outhouse. That's really about it. There's a better picture of my Knights and my Beast slamming into, well, my Knights hitting the Plague Bearers and my Beast hitting the Little Beast. And the Little Beast is kind of hard to see because my Beast is awesome. And there's a better picture of my Demon Prince slamming into the second Beast, Nurgle, as well as Catastrophe slamming into the Flamers because they have to die. During the magic phase, my Beast gets his spell off on the Skull Cannon, and while it doesn't do any wounds, it does make him stupid for the rest of the game, which is huge. In combat over here, my Demon Prince is able to put 3 wounds through on the Beast. He's not able to kill it, however, with charge and 3 wounds to nothing, he dies a horrible, horrible death, and my Demon Prince overruns, hoping that something will charge him next turn, because I need him in combat in case that damn cannon can shoot. Speaking of combat, we go over here, and Lady Elizabeth issues a challenge, kills the damn unit champion, and rolls Snake Eyes on the Eye of the Gods chart, and then fails her leadership check. No! Lady Elizabeth, after dozens of battles where she has gotten toughness and strength and demonhood and all that other stuff, her legacy game, the final game she'll see the table, and she turns into a spawn. We laughed so hard. We literally had to stop playing for a minute. It was hilarious. So she falls out of the combat, ends up being a spawn, and I lose my BSB. How disappointing is that? But in combat, my Knights do exceptionally well, and they are able to beat the crap out of a lot of the Plague Bearers, but they're steadfast, stubborn, whatever, and it doesn't matter because they make their break check no problem, and we're going to continue to beat on them for a round or two. Over here, it does not fare nearly as well for the Forsaken. All but 1 die. I do nothing back to these guys, and I break, and I get away, actually. The Beast of Nurgle came after him, and they get away. The one surviving Forsaken, he runs away, and I'll let you know right now, he never rallies because he needs snakes, and it just doesn't happen. But yeah, if you can believe it, he fled his and he gets off the table. So one Forsaken lives to tell the tale until Spawndom takes him. And then over here, Cast Ashby is able to finish off the Flamers, and I'm actually happy with him, which is a nice way to think of him in the last game that I'll ever use him. So we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and there's been a little bit. His Plague Bearers and his Demon Prince charge my Demon Prince in the flank, which kind of hurts. His other Plague Bearers, instead of charging my Forsaken, decide to just reform and face the rest of the unit. His Rotten Fly things charge my Exalted Hero, which I kind of figured that was the end for him. And other than that, everything else he has is dead or in combat. And I believe his cannon is stupid again this turn. There's a better picture of his flies running into my Exalted Hero and his Plague Bearers and his Demon Prince hitting my Demon Prince. During the magic phase, he gets Miasma Pestilence off on my Demon Prince and lowers everything by 1, I believe. And then he's able to get the poison attacks off on his Plague Bearers here, which now they just poison me on a 5-up, which kind of sucks. We go into combat, and the Beast against his Beast, it doesn't go well for me. My Beast actually ends up taking a wound, but luckily with the Demon Prince within 12 and us being in the Dwarven Brewery thing, the Beast is stubborn 9 and makes his break check. Over here in combat, however, none of his poison attacks really affect me. They bounce pretty harmlessly off my armor, and I kill 7 of his Plague Bearers. He's still stubborn, and he makes his break check no problem. No more crumbles. So it's going to be just a knockout drag out here. Over here in combat, Cast It and Break. He got charged. He didn't do any wounds. They didn't do any to him, but charging a banner to nothing. I lose by 2. He needed a 7, and he actually made it. I was proud of him. I was real proud of him. Over here in combat, I issue a challenge. His Demon Prince has to accept, and so he does. And I put 2 wounds on his Demon Prince, and he puts 1 on mine. I'm not able to soul feed or anything, I don't believe, but he wins this combat. Not that it matters. I'm able to make my leadership check of a 9 to turn and face him because I'm unbreakable, stubborn, and awesome. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and you're looking at it. Nothing really on my part other than my Corn Warriors trying to charge into the Plague Bearers and failing a charge because charging is hard. And I believe my Spawn charges the Skull Cannon, and that's about it. There's a better picture of my Corn Warriors failing a charge into Plague Bearers because I guess rolling a 6 was hard. During the magic phase, I get Transmutational Let off on his Demon Prince because I just didn't have anything else to cast, and I figured why not. Lady Elizabeth in combat over here gets her face kicked down her throat by the cannon and crew. It's unfortunate, but hey, at least she doesn't have to suffer that existence for very long. Then over here in combat, we kill all but I think like the banner and the musician guy in this Plague Bearer unit, but they're still stubborn 9 and they make their break check. Then over here, nothing happens at all. Well, no, that's not true. I put 1 more wound on his Demon Prince. He doesn't do anything to me, and I'm just trying to kill this thing already so that his magic phase and his leadership and his ability to get into the outhouse are all gone. Then over here in combat, I don't even know who this guy is anymore. Cass hits and wounds and gets 3 wounds through, killing a fly all by himself. The beast, his mount does nothing. They do nothing back to him. I win this combat by 2 because he's got a banner, but they make their check. They're fine, but holy crap, it's the cast that I've always wanted. Figures he'd wait until the last game to actually come out of his shell. So we go over here to bottom of 3 because all the fun in 2 was squeezed out of it, which was fine. And there's a little bit, not a ton. His Skull Cannon charges into my Knights, which really sucks. And his big unit of Beasts and Nurgle start coming in on my left flank there, looking to cause some trouble. Other than that, everything he has is dead or in combat. Yeah. There is a better picture of his Skull Cannon slamming into my Knights, and that's not good, because that's a lot of impact hits. During his magic phase, he re-ups Miasma Pestilence on his Plague Bearers, which is going to affect my Demon Prince by 1. And then, once again, he gets Curse of the Leper off on my Knights, lowering their toughness by 1, so they're now toughness 3, which sucks. After that, we go into combat, and I put 2 more wounds through, or I'm sorry, Cass puts 2 more wounds through on the plague drone things, the flies, and that's outstanding. I win this combat by 1, and they make their check again, so it's not a big deal, but oh my god, is he doing well. Over here, doesn't go quite as well at all. The impact hits pretty much kill all but 1. I'm able to actually finish off all but the banner guy for this unit of plague bears. I lose this combat, and I know I'm stubborn 9. I proceed to roll a 10, and my banner explodes, so that's awesome. His cannon freaks out, overruns, and slams into the beast. The beast gets obliterated by the impact hits. He does like 6 impact hits, and each one of them wound. The beast is not able to regen enough and dies a horrible death. And then the cannon, because I forget you can't overrun on an overrun, but whatever, the cannon ends up overrunning into the dogs and hitting them, because what can you do? They're immune to psychology. Over here in combat, my Demon Prince flubs. I hit him 3 times, and then I roll 3 ones to wound. So I guess a little karma from game 4 hit me in the ass, but what can you do? My opponent's not able to do anything in return, so we go to top of 4 after movement. And my Corn Warriors finally make it into the Plague Bears, which is nice, but other than that, not a whole hell of a lot happens. There's a better picture of the Corn Warriors slamming into the Plague Bears. During the magic phase, I get through glittering robes on my Corn Warriors, just in case those plague bears decide to get a little crafty with their knives. In combat over here, Catastrophe finally gets exhausted. I lose this combat by 1 because we don't do anything to each other, but he's able to make his break check because my Demon Prince is still within 12, so he needs an 8 and he makes it, which I was sweating bullets, I won't lie. Usually when I lose by 1, I'm screwed. Then over here in combat, Corn Warriors do amazing. I obliterate most of the Plague Bearers. My Demon Prince isn't able to finish off his Demon Prince, but I win this combat by a lot, and even though he's stubborn 9, he rolls an 11, and his Demon Prince dies. A bunch of the Plague Bearers die. I think there's like a rank and 1 in the back there left, but for the most part, things go very well. And his Demon Prince is dead, so there goes his magic phase, which is very important. Then in combat over here, the Skull Cannon is able to obliterate my dogs, which is sad. The funny part is, though, I think one of my dogs was able to put a wound through on his cannon, which is just awesome. But yeah, in the end, they all die, and it's sad. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and what happens is his Plague Bearer, the one remaining one from that unit with the standard, he turns to just kind of look at stuff. The cannon moves over to get ready to charge my Demon Prince, and the Beast and Nurgle run in, getting ready to try to exact some revenge for the Demon Prince. I'm sorry, I was wrong. His Skull Cannon was actually stupid this turn and went that direction because he turned after killing the dogs. In combat over here, Catastrophe is able to put 2 more wounds through, 2 or 3 more wounds through on the blot flies. I win this combat by 1 or 2, and that's enough because, poof, the flies are swatted, and Catastrophe emerges unscathed. Very impressed with this model all of a sudden. It's like, wow, way to turn it around in the very end when it's never going to matter. Then over here in combat, I kill a ton more of his Plague Bears. There's almost none left. I believe my Demon Prince, yes, my Demon Prince right here, he turns because he's only in combat with, like, corner to corner with 1. He turns to look at the Skull Cannon and stuff like that just in case it gets froggy next turn. With all the excitement, I forgot to take a picture of top of 5 after movement. But don't worry, you didn't miss a whole lot because there's a better picture of Catastrophe slamming to the rear of the Plague Bears because they need to die because I want points. During the magic phase, I get glittering robes off on the Corn Warriors once again, just in case. It's Irresistible Force, and I roll a 3. Ah! But luckily for me, I survive. I think a Plague Bearer dies. I think maybe a Corn Warrior dies. It's actually a very unimpressive, what's it called? Misfire with the 10s. We're just rolling real poor to actually wound each other. And I'm able to put a wound through on the skull cannon. So now it's got 2, which is just hilarious. With all that said and done, my combined charge and attacks from the Corn Warriors and the Exalted Hero are able to finish off the remainder of the, what's it called? Plague Bearers, which is good because that's a ton of points. And they both turn to deal with either the Beast of Nurgle or the cannon, depending on whatever they can get a hold of next. So we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and both the cannon and the Beast of Nurgle charge into my Demon Prince. Really kind of surprised me, I won't lie to you. But I'm not disappointed, so what can, it could be a lot worse. There's a better picture of the cannon and the Beast slamming into my Demon Prince, because yay. And during his magic phase, even though he doesn't have a magic phase anymore, he still has to roll in the chart. And what do you think happens? He rolls in the damn chart, and something hits my Corn Warriors that kills 8 of them. Over here in combat, I end up issuing a challenge, and his Beast of Nurgle has to accept it because it can't go away, and they can accept him, which is just crazy. He makes every single regen save that he needs to make, and he actually is able to put a wound through on my Demon Prince. He wins this combat, and nobody cares. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and my Corn Warriors charge into the flank of the Beast for 2 reasons. One's to get out of the way of the Exalted Hero, and the other one is to give charge, flank, banner, combat res to my Demon Prince. If he can just weather the attacks, I'm going to win by 2, and that might be enough to kill one of these units. Meanwhile, Catastrophe runs into the Beast of Nurgle because why not? There's a better picture of my Corn Warriors slamming into the flank of the Beast of Nurgle. And there's a better picture of Catastrophe slamming into the big unit of Beast of Nurgle. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work in my favor, and nothing happens. I don't do any wounds to him. He doesn't do any wounds to me. With charge to nothing, I win by 1, and he makes his stubborn 8 check no problem. Over here in combat, I'm able to win this one. I think my Demon Prince is able to put a wound through on the Beast, which is good. I win. Nobody cares. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and there is none because everything's deader in combat. Over here, Catastrophe is able to actually kill another one of the beasts, and I think leave a wound on one, or maybe he just does 1 wound. He doesn't take anything for his trouble. He wins by 1. They're stubborn, and nothing happens. However, over here in combat, last turn, I apologize, I did win that combat, and his Skull Cannon took 1 more wound. In this one, nothing happens. They lose combat again, but nothing. They don't take any wounds or anything like that. And with that being the bottom of 6, there's the end of the game. It's kind of dark, but the way I see it, it's just a way of saying that's the curtain dropping on the last ever Wars of Chaos game. For Lord Tremendous, anyway. But, yeah, the legacy was my Demon Prince, my Exalted Hero, my Corn Warriors are the only ones to survive. Lady Elizabeth dies to Spawndom. The Knights get run down by a Corn Cannon. The one remaining Forsaken flees off the table, and my Warhounds end up getting obliterated by a Skull Cannon. So that's how the legacy dies. That's how the epic ends. They all receive their demonhood and go into the warp, and that's what we fought for. It's sad. Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You are never going to be able to get better banners than this. There is no company, there is no talent scout, there is no entity on the planet that's going to get you banners better than this. Custom banners for your custom army. You want better paint scores. You want that little edge that makes your army better than the guy next to you. Sick of running, going to tournaments and getting that paint score that's just a few points lower than the guy that literally sneezes on his army. And you can't figure out why? Get these banners and make your army really pop, really stand out. Send this guy an email, tell him what you want, and get yourself some banners. It's totally worth it. But I end the legacy on a high note. One final victory for Lord Tremendous. I ended up getting 2,205 points out of him. He ended up getting 1,777 out of me. I won 7 battle points. He won 2 battle points because we completely forgot about the outhouse. You know what? And I didn't care. I wanted to have some awesome combat. I am thrilled that I had such a great opponent that would allow me to, because he could have pulled away and just, hoped that I was more than 6 inches away from that thing and stubborn wouldn't be a factor and all that other garbage. But he didn't. He met me in the middle, and we had an amazing couple of hours of combat, which was a lot of fun. In the end, my grand total of battle points for the GT was 32. I got 2 in the first game, 2 in the second, 10 in the third, 8 in the fourth, and 7 in the fifth. Plus 3 for my army being the way it was. 32 out of 50. So, not great. I gotta be honest, not great. About as good as I was expecting. I wanted to end on the top half there, and right in the middle of the pack. So, not terrible. But I knew I wasn't gonna do like terrific during this GT because my heart just wasn't in the army anymore. In the end, I ended up losing Lady Elizabeth, the Knights, the Beast, the Forsaken, and the Dogs. My opponent ended up losing his Demon Prince, his BSB, his Plague Bears, both units, and his Plague Drones, his Nurglings, and 1 Beast of Nurgle, and his Flamers. Man, what a great map to end my Warriors of Chaos career with. The Dwarven Brewery making us stubborn and immune to psychology for the whole game was a welcome relief. I don't even mind telling you. We both pretty much completely ignored the house. My opponent said at one point he was thinking about going into the house instead of charging me, but then he thought I would just, eat everything alive, and he didn't want to do that. So instead he charged, and his Demon Prince ended up dying, but he stopped my Demon Prince from going in, even though I didn't die, so that was something. It deterred us. We both got an extra battle point out of it, so that was kind of funny. But this was the best Demon Prince versus Demon Prince fight I've ever had. That battle, I wish you could have been there to see it. We went back and forth just slugging it out the whole time. It was great. Elizabeth turning into a spawn and dying as her legacy just ruined it. It's like, oh yeah, Lady Elizabeth, I've heard of her. Didn't she end up as a spawn after killing a Plague Bearer unit champion? Yeah, that just sucks. that was not the ending I would have wrote for. But the dice gods have called it, and she died a spawn, and it's sad. But really a great way to have my final game with this army, and I really enjoyed it, and that was good. It ended on a happy note, and that's what I wanted. But that ended the tournament. Obviously, I didn't walk away with it. I did end up winning Stratego in the raffle, which was really cool. I was actually talking to the guy that won overall while they were doing all that, and all I heard was Lord Tremendous, and everybody started cheering, and I was like, uh-oh, did I just get banned? And then I saw him waving a box at me. I was like, oh, stuff, swag, yay! So I ran over there and grabbed it and made an ass of myself, because it's kind of what I do. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. But seriously, guys, I know I say this about the GTs that I go to, but that's because I only go to the good ones. Rock Wars was awesome. The next one I'm going to go to will be in January. Will be the Shiloh, and that one was great in last year, at the beginning of this year. So I'm really looking forward to the Shiloh this year. And then the next one I'm going to go after that is in March. It's the Lone Wolf. If you guys can go. Come up, shake my hand, slap me in the face. Well, don't do that, but you know what I mean. If you like the show or you like the battle reports, say it. I would love to hear it. I would love to meet you. I would love to shake your hand. I had a handful of people come up to me during this one, and it was really great to meet everybody. I really enjoyed that. But don't be shy. Don't worry about coming up to me and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time to talk to you. No, I've always got time. This is why I do these things. I like to meet you people. So, what do you mean you people? Yeah, I like to meet everybody. Just come up, say hey. Don't wait. If I'm in the middle of a game, who cares? Come up, say hey. Tell me that my battle reports suck. Tell me that you like them. I don't care. Let's have a game. Let's have fun. It'll be cool. That's what these things are for. But yeah, the next one I'm going to end up going to is the Shiloh, and I hope to meet a bunch of you guys there because it was a lot of fun. But this tournament was amazing. The tables were great. The hotel and everything was really nice. I wouldn't recommend the restaurant at night because that chef sucked. But other than that, it was, everybody was real friendly. Everything was a lot of fun. And just a 10 out of a 10. Really great job by the TOs. And I can't say enough good things about them. Seriously, if you guys don't go to the Rock Wars next year, you're just hurting yourself. And I won't be held accountable. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is kind of like the end of a legacy. The Warriors of Chaos are being sold. As of this moment, the Orange Beast, the Chimera Trifection, and my Sorcerer Lord on a disc, the real big fancy one, have all been sold. Those are confirmed. The Forsaken have been sold. That is confirmed. And I have a group in New Orleans looking to get a rather large bit of it. Just in case that falls through, though, I don't know if they're going to or not. I haven't actually talked to them in a few days. But if that does fall through, I have the Tzeentch Warriors, I have the Khorne Warriors, I have a Tzeentch Chariot, a Khorne Chariot, 3 Skull Crushers, a little goblin dude with a gun on a steed, which I was using as a Laura Flame caster. A lot of stuff like that. If you're interested, just send me a message, put it in the comment section, and if the New Orleans crew falls through, I'd be happy to sell them to you and ship it. I'm trying to give people a good deal, so don't think that I'm going to screw you over or put like Hollywood prices on it or anything like that. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the past 154 battle reports with Warriors of Chaos, and I hope you look forward to hundreds of battle reports exclusively Tomb Kings, because that's where my heart's at, and that's what I can't wait to get to. As always, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thanks.